If you are anything like me and just realize everything out there pretty much wants to kill you, hey, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state and world that we live in. Thank you so much for being here. If you missed the podcast yesterday, don't worry. There was not a technical glitch. Usually there are technical glitches because, let's face it, it's me. The technical glitch did not exist. So we had a video driven show yesterday. We went through the entire Jimmy John's elk hunt and kind of broke it down piece by piece and had some discussion on it. That's really what it was. So didn't really translate very well into podcast, but here we are. Today's program will be on the podcast here shortly after the program. Now, today is the FAFO edition of the Go Show. That's right. Blank around and find out. Holy mackerel. Got a lot of stories to get to. The first is a local story that was sad, really sad. A toddler, a 3-year-old, was bitten by a rattlesnake in North Scottsdale, firefighters say. Yeah. You know why? Because there are snakes in the desert. I am not bashing on the boy. I'm not bashing on the boy's parents or supervisor, guardian, whoever the heck was in charge of the little grommet that day. But you know something? Yeah, this happens. There was a drowning this summer. Yeah, you know why? We have pools. We have a lot of pools. We have hundreds of thousands of pools here in the valley. And tragedy strikes when you're not paying attention. Okay. So here's the gig. I have a history with snakes. And one of those things, one of the pieces of the history is I got a phone call once when I was at a radio station down the road. I got a phone call from a friend of mine saying, "Are you near Phoenix Children's Hospital at all?" And again, yeah, I'm right up the road. What's going on? He said, "There's a helicopter on its way to Phoenix Children's. It has a 3.5-year-old in it, and you need to be there for him and his mom." And I said, "Done. I will be there." Holy mackerel. The kid stepped in a snake den. He wasn't struck by a snake. He was struck by every snake in that hole. Every one of them got a little piece. This poor child's leg looked like a football. And with football with like purple and red holes in it. It was awful. Absolutely awful. The boy's fine. Intern Sarah and intern Beans, this was years ago. They I forget what they did. They started like a lemonade stand or something like that, or they tried to raise money for the family because in a lot of cases, snake antivenom is not covered under insurance. We're talking about thousands of dollars a vial here. So I haven't checked recently. I mean, this might be the way it goes today. Today, maybe insurance covers it, but back then, insurance wasn't covering, and so they raised like a couple $100 to help this family. I just thought it was one of the most the cutest things that I've seen in a hot minute, and just proud of my girls in that respect. But I understand that when I'm in the desert and I'm in the forest and in the mountains, I'm in a stream, I'm near a stream. If I'm near a stream, I'm in a lot of aminals water source and lakes. I understand the power. I understand that most things out there fear you, but will protect their crew, so to speak, their family, and they will do so with deadly force. I know I'm an ecotourist. So when you're out hiking on all these trails, watch out for snakes. How about it? Watch out for snakes. If you take your dog out there, guess what? If your dog has not been snake trained, and snake training is one of the most not pretty things, it's horrific. It's scarring to see how they snake train dogs. They have to, though, because dogs are curious. Dogs are friendly. Dogs, ooh, what's this? I want to say it's making a rattle sound. I want to go check it out. It's like one of my little toys. Bark, bark. Let's go. Sniff, sniff. They're curious. Snake training, let me put it this way, cures them of that curiosity. It ain't pretty. Anyway, so if you're out there with a toddler, a dog, you might want to keep them either off the ground or get them snake trained. I know 3-year-olds are heavy. I get it. Then find a different way to hike or get exercise. I'm not kidding. If you want to take your kid out in the desert, you're going to run the risk of your kid getting hit by a snake, a cholla cactus, whatever it is. It's going to hurt. Scorpions, we'll talk about scorpions in a few minutes here. There's a new species of scorpion, thank you, in California. Oh, yeah. California's, I got my opinion on that. I'll keep it to myself. Not a political show. But this is a challenge for a lot of people. I mean, forget about just the challenge alone of the, what's up, Eddie? Just forget about the challenge of telling people don't take your dogs on trails when it's July and the ground is 300 degrees. That's enough of a challenge as it is. I don't feel that I have to tell y'all, don't take your kids out in the desert. Oh, but it's been cold. There's been snake sightings all over. It's snake time, peeps. It is snake time, and they want you to snag at a snake. They're coming to you. They're going to get to a place where they can regulate the temperature of their body, and they don't care that you're in the way. And if you're in the way and they're frightening, or you step upon one, they will defend themselves. It's just going to be that way. And I don't know what the child did. I don't know if the child's like, "Ooh, a snake," or or a kid was just walking by, whatever it was. My example, the kid at Phoenix Children's Hospital, he just was walking and stepped in a hole. And there happened to be a lot of negative snakes in there. No bueno. I used to pick up snakes. I used to think I was Steve Irwin. I really did. I thought I was Steve. I would just go, crikey, it's a snake. And I'd just grab the damn thing. And one time I grabbed it too far back from the head, just a little far down. That sucker had me frozen. It spun its head around and was almost, its mouth open was really like almost on my skin of my hand. It turned around that fast. Instead of dropping it or throwing it, I just kept moving my hand around like I was like I was in a jiu-jitsu match with this dang snake. That almost scared me of picking up snakes. Yeah. Something, I missed the guy too. Steve Irwin was pretty dang cool, because after Steve Irwin, they tried to get replacements. Okay. They basically, the TV, the outdoor world thought, okay, we need to replace the crocodile hunter himself. Alligator hunter, what do they call him? Anyway, Steve Irwin. So basically, they found somebody who, I'm not going to name the guy's name, the poor cat. Actually, several of them. Okay, if you like to be outdoors and you don't defecate yourself every time you see a snake, we want you. And that's what they did. And they basically tried their best to replace Steve Irwin, and they didn't. Here's not a fun fact, a horrifying fact. The stingray that got him, that, he's basically stabbed in the heart by a stingray. If he had not instinctually removed the barbed stinger, he'd be alive. He died because they removed it. I don't know if it's him or whoever he's with. Somebody pulled the thing out, and that's what killed the guy. Sad, isn't it? Ugh. And now we got to deal with his kids. I'm going to be honest. Okay, sorry. They lost their father. I lost mine. Okay, fine. Okay, great. But I don't ask you to, just follow along with what, okay, my dad was an engineer, so he died. I should be an engineer because my dad was. You need to make me one. No. I'm not a fan of the kids. They're just not entertaining. They're not him. They're cool kids. God bless them. I wish them luck. They ain't their daddy. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yes. So anyway, everything out there wants to kill you. I used to pick up snakes all the dang time, and I thought it was cool. And then I've dispatched a few. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on, but whatever. Yes, I am not a giant fan of snakes. No, I like other snakes. I don't like rattlesnakes. I'm not a fan. Slavo sent me a picture of his hike that he was taking the other day. Good size rattlesnake. He said, sucker didn't even rattle. Didn't make a peep. Let me tell you something. That's what we're heading towards. I don't mean to scare you. This is fair warning that, again, when you go out in the desert, you're in the forest, you're in a lake, a stream, whatever, you're an eco-tourist. You're not this is not a home court game anymore. Actually, you need to be. What's up, Grizz? It's thanks for hanging out, bud. It's an away game for you, and you're no longer apex. You're just not. I mean, you can be. I mean, it's getting prepared in the right way. But if you're just out on a hike, you're not in the mental attitude of I'm the boss out here. You're just enjoying nature and just walking along. And you got to realize you're in their house. Okay, if a snake comes rolling into my house, going to get dispatched. If a shark comes into my house, going to get dispatched. And by the way, now that it's summer, I'll go ahead and stop asking the question. Hey, where are you guys going on vacation this summer? Oh, yeah. Arizona, what's up? There's several more places to go than San Diego. I promise you. Expand a little bit. Holy mackerel. Everyone in Arizona. San Diego. Going to Mission Beach, San Diego. La Jolla. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, now that we're going on the ocean, guess what's out there? Sharks. Yeah. All summer, that's what I hear all over and over and over again. Shark attack. Shark attack. Sharks in the water. Clear the beach. You're an ecotourist. You're out there in their world. I loved it when my sister and I went fishing off of La Jolla, kayak fishing. And this big whale just breaches right in front of us. I mean, right in front of us. It was intimidating. I was a little clinch, if you know what I mean. Like, my sister was like, oh, come here, mama. Oh, come here. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this too, because it was a Hobie kayak, so it was the pedals. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that thing could just destroy us. Like, holy man, why does it stay away? You can look, it was 10 feet away from you. You can look at it, it's fine. If it comes back up, it wants you to see it. If it doesn't, and that tail in the air, that means it's going down, 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 down. It's fine. Holy, it's probably eating the fish we're going after and just laughing at us is what it's doing. Holy man. Yeah. Oh, you caught it. Okay, so Eddie popped in and he caught a rattler several years ago. So I want to get to this. Yeah, if I want to laugh, I actually do. Oh, check that. I got it. Here's the deal. The silence is scary because that's what we're watching microevolution happen right in front of our eyes. And I learned this from a biologist, so somebody I trust very well. And by the way, if you see him on the podcast, if you're on YouTube, you see him on the podcast, get over and check that out. That interview that I did, the guest that I had, John Odell, he's a small game biologist, a competitive small game chef. Fascinating. You are going to absolutely love that. If anyone has ever told you that anything you hunted or fished tastes gamey, you're going to have to find out why. And I love it. So check it out. Anyway, so John Odell, a biologist, told me, he said, we're watching microevolution happen when it comes to rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are not getting killed if they're silent. So the ones that don't rattle are not the ones. The rattlesnakes that do not rattle are not getting dispatched. They're not getting killed. The rattlesnakes that are surviving are the ones that are quiet. I'm sorry, I hate pluralizing one, and I don't know why it bothers me so much, but even when I do it, I'm like, argh. So the rattlesnakes that are rattling, killed. So those rattlesnakes that are more inclined to stay they're breeding and making more rattlesnakes that are more inclined to the rattlesnakes that aren't inclined to and like just let you know, yo, I'm over here. Those are the snakes that are getting popped. So that wild. So we are about a generation or two away from just rattlesnakes not living up to their name. Just snakes. We'll just call them diamondback snakes because the rattle's going away. That weird, but it's fun though. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. So you got to paint a silver lining on it. We're talking about rattlesnakes, for the love of grief. Not a lot of silver lining when it comes to rattlesnakes. Yeah, but it is the microevolution that's taking place. This is the Go Show. Thanks for hanging out with us. We celebrate all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in. Which let's talk about. Let's go from microevolution to just straight Darwinism, because and Eddie posted something of the same bent here. How about this? And a Aussie man killed by trying to remove venomous snakes from child care facility. Yeah. Bye. Look, I understood. I understood full well when I went and grabbed a diamondback rattlesnake exactly what could happen to me. I knew the risks. And if I got bit and if I died, so be it. That was my choice. It really was. It wasn't Snake's choice. Snake didn't want to be picked up. Snake was just doing its snake to snake thing. That's just what it did. So when I picked up, I knew what was going on. This guy trying to be a hero. There's a child care facility with snakes. Ha ha! I shall go. Untrained, barehanded, and I will be fine. I'll make the paper. Remember that was the thing? You'll get your name in the paper. Yeah, so this clown, well-intended clown, jumps into a child care facility to de-snake it, and sorry, you died a hero, bud. That basically, just don't. If you see snakes, I want you to understand this. If you see snakes here in the valley, if you see something, don't do it yourself. I mean, I have snake grabbers in the truck, but I swiped them from my girlfriend. I wanted one, and she left it in the truck, so I really didn't swipe it. She left it in the truck. So I have snake grabbers. Do I carry them on hikes? No. Should I? Yes. Because if I want to be the hero here and get a rattlesnake off the trail where there's families going up and down and things like that, and little kids, I will try to grab the snake and just relocate that sucker out to some other spot, a nice little warm spot for it to hang out and get some sun. Okay. So, but yeah, unless you have those, just don't play. Unless you're going in there with snake guards on your feet, on your shins, and you got snake gloves on, and you want to do that, fine. Other than that, call the Herpetological Society. I just love saying herpetological. That's too much fun. Call the Herpetological Society. Yeah. Call the pros. That's right. Grizz, what's up? Who cares? You don't have to be a hero. Call a pro. These people have equipment to do this. Okay. They really do. That's like saying your house is on fire. I don't know, don't you dare call 911. I have a garden hose, don't I? Kids, get the hose. Get some buckets. No, you call the fire department. What am I going to say? You just do. Oh, my goodness sakes. Yeah, it's good. Hey, you have a snake pole in the back of your truck. You should. This is Arizona, folks. This is what it is. I wish they had, you know what? I wish I had something, an invention that tells you that cholla are somewhere near you. Yeah, like there's a little cholla radar, and then you can just get rid of them a certain how. Yeah, got a fire extinguisher. That's right. Oh, I got a fire extinguisher. Don't worry about it. Call the fire department. If you see a snake, call the Herpetological Society. It's that simple. This is the blank around and find out edition. This is the FAFO edition of the Go Show, because there is so much stuff happening here that is just almost mind-blowing to me. Have you checked out what's going on in Africa? Yeah, of course you have. Elephants have just lost their mind. Elephants are absolutely 100% done with tourists. They are done with these trucks rolling around, everybody taking their picture, because they circle around the babies like, yo, what is this? And why are they coming around? You would think at this point in time that they're pretty darn used to these safaris that are rolling through, these safari trucks. Something's ticked them off. Or the elephants have figured out a game that they just like to play, and it's called Tip the Safari Truck. Because it's happening now a lot. This isn't like there's been a shark sighting off the coast of Maine. No. This is a thing now. One of the big stupid stories sociologically. I'll say sociologically. The past, maybe I should have some coffee. Hang tight. The last couple of weeks was dudes were just punching women in New York. Just, it was a thing, like a game or something like that. And it was the dumbest thing, stupidest thing, horrific, terrible. I feel so sorry for these people. It's almost like that in Africa with these elephants. These elephants, like, you know what we're going to do now? We're just going to start tossing these things. And if you don't believe me, I'm telling you, the power of an elephant. The power that an elephant has is blinding. And I'm talking about with tusks lifting up an entire probably 12, 15 seat tour safari truck, lifting it up engine side. So it's got this giant diesel engine and that's that, and it's flipping it up on its back end. I've seen one of my favorite land animals in the world is a rhino. White rhinos are the coolest things ever. Don't worry. Yeah. If you ever want to find out how to save the rhinos, watch the movie Trophy that CNN put out trying to scare everybody and get everybody to hate trophy hunting. What it did was expose poaching and why hunters are needed. Sorry, CNN. You got one past us with blackfish, but you tried to follow it up with trophy and you just proved that we're right. I watched a rhino put its horn under a car and flip it like it was a skateboard, and then go up to it, flip it again. It rolled this thing for about 100 yards for funsies. Obviously, it was threatened in some way, but it was moving. It was moving through. Eddie, okay, Ed knows the story too. Eddie's got the story because she lived a good life. A 90-year-old died, or an 80-year-old died. From an elephant flipping the bleeping tour truck. I'm telling you. But here's the deal. Chris has brought up bison. Bison can do that too. And I love bison. You're talking to the bison guy. I have a bison tattoo. I love bison. They're strong as it gets. My favorite thing, one of my favorite things to watch or read about is stories in Yellowstone about tourists getting launched. That is Darwinism at its finest. I'm like, whoa. I'm almost bummed. I'm like, they survived. Yeah, I like to win one for the bison. Let's go pet the fluffy. Let's go pet the big fluffy bison. Do you know what the scientific name for a bison is? Ready for this? Bison. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to me. The people are so stupid. There's an Instagram handle that I follow. It's called what is it? Influencers in the Wild. It's just I love watching. It's like going to Disneyland and you see those Instagram boyfriends. Oh, that is my favorite thing, because there's no more demasculating thing that I could possibly imagine than a man that is connected to a influencer. Someone who always has to have her picture taken, her video done right, and this and that. It is embarrassing and so much fun to watch. If you're stuck going to Disneyland this summer, by the way, don't sleep on California Adventure. California Adventure is better than Disney Park. Well, Star Wars aside. But California Adventure, you can sit at what used to be called Ariel's Grotto. I don't know if they call it now. It's a bar. It's an open air bar. Yeah, bar that serves lobster nachos. What? Yes. And just sit there and watch people, and just people watch is one of the most entertaining things that you could possibly do. It's worth the price of admission. And because you get to see a lot of these Instagram boyfriends that are it's too funny. It's just too funny. And maybe I'll put a bonus section online about my embarrassing mishap at Ariel's Grotto. It's actually complimentary, but whew. Yeah. Anyway, but back to this whole thing. Something's up with the elephants. The elephants are just now attacking. So you understand, you got to see the ripple effect of this. And it's actually sad, because a lot of the safari tourism dollar goes to their conservation efforts. So the conservation efforts are going to suffer now that people are afraid. I don't want to go on I'm not going on one. If my family told me right now, hey, Dad, we got a trip together and for school, and we're going to Africa, and we're going to go on one of these safaris, I'd be like, why don't you skip the elephant portion? Can you skip a day? This is something up, because multiple elephants, same time frame, are just ticked off and over it and done. But I don't feel sorry for these people. There is an inherent risk at doing anything we do in the outdoors. Heck, paddleboarding has risks. Kayaking has risks. We just talked about hiking has risks. Everything we do in the outdoors, you need to keep a weathered eye. Yeah, pirate day. I'm not going to do my pirate jokes or impression. I promise. Not now. So anyway, they want to get you gone. They might not want to kill you. I just think it's an over exaggeration, but I say it a lot. Everything in the outdoors wants to kill you. Everything in the desert wants to kill you. They just want to protect themselves from what they see as a threat. And that threat could be it's a threat to my family's health. It's a threat to my family's safety. Whatever it is, they want to come at you. And by the way, elephants, I think, are just getting the memo. How about this? What are the two species in the African big game 10, the big 10? What are the two species that combine kill more hunters than all of the other 8 combined? I'll give you a minute. Ready for this? If you said water buffalo and hippos, straight to the front of the class with you. Mean, evil. I think that the elephants just got the memo. They're like, oh yeah, heck yeah, well, yeah. We went on this. Other 8 combined. Watch. Told the other 7, hey guys, hold my beer. Watch this. I'll go take out some tours. I'm not going to be at the bottom of the list, says the elephant. But why? Why even do it? I'm good with not until they're showing me that we've gone 3 months. They've got one of those things in the conservation office. We've got, blank days without an elephant flipping a safari car. Yeah. When you get to day, let's call it 120, I'm there. Sign me back up. But until then, you show me that the elephants, it's not elephants gone wild right now. I'll go ahead and sign up again. Yeah. But I would like to go on a safari. I would like to go on a hunting safari. But that's just me. And that's if I can bring meat back. That's to me, that's the tough part. I mean, I understand the need for trophy hunting and game hunting in Africa. I understand that because it funds their conservation. They have seen the North American model works. So we're going to try that. We're going to use that for a funding source and to help cull populations and to take care of problem animals like rhinos. But if I can't bring the meat back, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, can I bring a strap back? I mean, I don't know the rules. I'd have to get to the rules first to sign up. And I think that it would be it'd be a fun trip, but I'm not just bringing back skulls. Sorry. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. If I can't cook it, I'm just not a fan. If we can only cook it there and I got time to cook it and prepare for a lot of people and there's a whole gang of us, a whole gaggle of us, I'm down. Yeah. And talk about that. Let me start with California to start. Again, let's get some coffee. Let me wrap this up with California. Again, the blank around and find out edition of the program. California is kind of, if you ask me, kind of getting what they deserve. There's a new venomous arachnid to watch out for in the California deserts. Well, it's California. California found a new creepy crawly species of scorpion. Oh, this is the 2-layer basin scorpion, has 8 legs, a smooth body, 2 heavily scalloped pincers, and an orange and yellow body with dark brown markings, according to the study. A kid was out in the desert, saw one, thought it looked pretty cool, and took a picture of it and posted it on a group site in California. And this sparked a 1.5-year search for this dang thing. Come to find out, almost endangered, but solid populations of this thing that can at least make it make it noteworthy. But again, it's another thing to watch out for when you're in or on the desert. And I don't need to identify a scorpion. I don't. I see a scorpion, you know what I do? I either squish it or I stay away from it. Period. Have you ever been stung by a scorpion? Ouch! Holy mackerel, that hurts. It is not fun. I absolutely hate them. So I got hit on the foot. The only time I've been stung by a scorpion, I get hit on the foot. And so I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, I'm new to Arizona. So I'm like, okay, let me check this out. It's years and years and years ago. And so I said, I called poison control, or I forget who I called. And they said, oh, well, settle in for the evening because it's going to start in your foot and it's a nerve hit. So it's going to crawl up your leg. Not lying. The pain just went up my right leg. And I'm like, oh, come on. And it had to. It was a little sucker too, so it had no control. That's the kind of the rule of thumb is that if it's bigger, it's not really safer, but it's not really going to care about you. It's lived the life. It knows. It understands. There's big giant hairless apes around. You don't need to go poking the thing. But the little guys, they don't know that. Tag, 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 tag. So there's 2 stingers on a scorpion's tail. One is for the hey. I told you to back up. Nope, you're not gonna back up. Pop! I'm gonna zap you one. Ow! That's the one stinger. The other stinger is for now you're gonna find out. I either want to stop the threat, or I want to eat you, or both. Yeah. So they got 2. So the adults are really good at figuring which one to use. Like pop, get out of here. And the now I want to get you. The little one's like, let's go. I'm just gonna keep hit you with some Morse code. I just said DDD. That's what it sounded like. Sounded like I was doing some Morse code. But scorpions are no joke. They just really aren't. And I'm shocked at my new place that I don't have more scorpions. It's on a golf course, and I'm shocked that I don't have more scorpions. I haven't seen one. Knock on wood. By the way, knock on wood is a Celtic belief that they're little that there's like Keebler elves that live in trees that try to do bad things to you. So if you say something that you want to happen, or you're glad that something's not happening, if you knock on wood, that kind of lets them not hear you. Knock on a tree and they can't hear you. Just in case you needed to know that for the weekend. Congratulations and a happy Friday to you. By the way, let's wrap it up with my favorite story because this is funny because New York is just crazy. The community is demanding that the state of New York return a man's pet. Oh, look at this little cutie. His pet is named Albert. His pet is 34 years old. His pet just happens to be a 34-year-old, 750-pound alligator. So social media, 132,000 people have signed an online petition demanding the New York Department of Environmental Conservation return Albert to his rightful owner, 64-year-old Tony Cavallaro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They said seizing the animal would hurt both Albert's and Cavallaro's well-being. Quote, Albert should be able to live the rest of his life with his companion. If you stay for the bromance, Russell and Hunter's the bromance in about a half hour here. I'm bringing this up. His companion is like an emotional support animal. Albert is a 720-pound emotional support animal. Oh my goodness sakes. It is. I do agree with this. If 34 years all he's known is living with Cavallaro and not eating him to this point, then that's all Albert knows. I mean, come on. What are you going to go set him loose? And Albert's like, where's the dog food? I don't understand what it should be a bowl around here. It should be don't people throw us raw chickens? What's happening? We're live chickens? I don't care. I mean, I don't discriminate. I mean, yeah. I think this is Darwin because you can't do that because of licensing, of course, whatever. But I'm sure it's for the safety of Mr. Cavallaro. Mr. Cavallaro survived this long with Albert just chilling. I think they're good. If they're not, that's Mr. Cavallaro's fault. And again, that is Darwinism at its finest. Holy mackerel. Hey, y'all. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I really do. That's right. A service gator, Grizz. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. No, thanks for weighing in. Always appreciate it. Let me see if I missed anything. That means I have to get the spectacles on. Hang tight. See if I missed anything. Kids just don't. Jeez, come on, man. This is truly a beautiful state. I love that. My wife and I have traveled the whole thing, and we love it. That's right, Grizz. I'm not going back to California. You can't pay me to go back. You just can't. I absolutely love, and I mean love this. Oh, Grizz is in pest control. Hang tight, Grizz. Real quick question, bud. How do you get rid of scorpions? So, I mean, how do you basically prepare your house to be better to be not scorpion proof, pretty much, side of getting a service alligator? How do you keep them away? How do you keep them away? Let us know. If you can let us know, I'd appreciate it. And we'll talk about that on Monday. We'll bring it up and we'll get a pro advice from Grizz. Yes, and he also said that people try to pet bisons because they look like fluffy cows. I know, buddy. Holy mackerel, do I know? Thank you so much for playing. We're going to get the podcast up here in about an hour or two. There's technology in me. And I got to go do that bromance thing with Rob here in a bit as well. So after that, we'll have the podcast up and have a great weekend. Have a lot of fun. Hey, today's First Friday. I'll be down there hanging out First Friday, taking the kids down there and just kind of walking around, milling around, good food trucks and whatnot. And then we got the NCAA tournament going on this weekend. So a lot happening here in the Valley. Lots of traffic. Be patient. Be cool. If you want to be the cool kid, the super cool kid, here's what you do: get out of town. Get out to the desert. Get out to a lake. Get up north. Have some fun. Get away from this weird city life when we have these major sporting events here. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll chat with you Monday at 11 right here on The Go Show. See you then.